Just floating around tugboating people.
Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I hope you're all having a great Monday so far today. Kim, thank you so much for 46 months. That is almost a year. Speaking of a year, Wednesday is my streamiversary that I definitely remembered was coming up and planned for. I did try to get on the front page again for it, but my petition was denied. Which, yeah, whatever. It's 9 years. It's my 9-year streamiversary. It's too many. Too many. So yeah. There's that. Yeah. That's Wednesday. So I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll do something on Wednesday. I'm gonna come up. We'll have like some silly sub goals or something. We'll have like banana suit or like maybe a Stardew challenge or something on there. We'll see. I'm gonna come up with some stuff and we'll do something fun on Wednesday, and I'm probably just gonna play a bunch of different games, I think. Do some Cairn, do some Ball Pit, do some stuff. You know, just kind of bounce around a little bit and have some fun. So that's the plan for Wednesday. But for today, we're going to vibe out and play some Satisfactory, where I am going to spend the entire stream trying not to redo everything. And I will definitely succeed. Definitely succeed in that. We got our aluminum factory moved-ish up on top of the cliff. So we got to get that finished up and turned on. Once that's going and we get some aluminum production going, we can start completing the milestones in phase 4 to unlock the rest of the stuff like higher tier belts and things like that. And then we can probably redo everything. So that's the plan for today. We're going to mess around, play some Satisfactory, vibe out. I definitely don't have the Siege Invitational up on any of my monitors at all. Nope. So, definitely not going to get distracted by that. It's just one set of train tracks. It'll take 15 minutes. Well, then I also have to finish the train running over to the quartz, because I got to get crystal oscillators going and stuff, you know? So, yeah. Yeah. Maybe, you know, what we could do on Wednesday for my streamiversaries, we could co-stream some Siege. Everyone in this community would love that. I actually got a chance last night. My son quit my game to go play with his friends, which is fair. So I got a chance last night to jump into some quick matches with Dauntless in Siege, which was not really much fun for anybody involved. I may have slightly dragged their lobbies up into an untenable position. So, Chirpy, good morning, and welcome to the show. She came down in a bubble, Doug. Grow up, bro. Hi. Thank you so much for the raid. We're just starting. Welcome to the factory and the nonsense and whatever the this is. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? What'd you get up to today? Let me... Let me do that. Chatting. Nice. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for sharing your community with us. Hi, everybody. My name is Tug. We're playing some Satisfactory today. We've got, we're working on milestones in phase 4. Right now, we're trying to get aluminum production going, which has been a multi-step process because I started it and then moved it somewhere else. And then I ran out of stuff. So now we're back here getting things that I definitely remember that I needed to get. Right? Absolutely. 100% know what I was here for. Your first stream in a year and a half. Oh, wow. Well, that's fun. That is fun. Okay. So I think we can head back over to our aluminum. Because I think that's what I need. I needed to make I needed another Mark II pump. Okay, I have everything for that. I should probably grab motors while I'm here. Have you already been live for 10 minutes and you just got the notification? The Twitch notification? I have some bad news. Those don't really work. What was I gonna get? Motors. That's smart plates. Bro, where are my motors? There are my motors. Right. We'll have a stack of motors because we need those for trains. Right? What else do I need for trains that I might need? Regular frames, I'm alright. Train stations, I'm good. Freight platforms, I'm good. Okay. Factory is so clean. It's okay. It's still very much bits and pieces that aren't really finished. I'm gonna keep that going. Deliberate design to minimize rebuilding. Yes, that is the plan. And it's working super well. You know, I don't like your attitude, FLCL. Have I mentioned that? Have I mentioned that fact? All right, let's go get some aluminum. So with the other thing with aluminum is I'm gonna need some copper. We got copper here, which is going. Like, we got that copper. But the problem is we need more copper, which means I've got these impure nodes here. I only need 10 copper per minute. So actually the impure nodes could work. Alright, cool. So even if I'm doing a couple of those, I could get 3 of those productions going just with the impure nodes. So that'll be fine. That'll be fine. We'll be able to crank out some aluminum, some all-clad sheets pretty easily. If you don't like the attitude, stop causing it. Okay. We made a string of power lines so that we could float our way back over to our aluminum plant. Decided to move the aluminum plant from down on the water up to the top of the cliffs over here. So we've got coal coming up from there. Actually, wait, where is that copper? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Huh. Okay. That's slightly awkward, but that might be okay. I don't know if I want to belt that or not. We also have some concrete some limestone over here that we could tap, since we're going to be up here. Anyway, because all the bauxite nodes are up here, there's one here, there's one over there, and then there's one over there. Plus, there's coal right here. Decided to move the aluminum plant up here. So that's what we were working on last time. We haven't turned it on yet. The bauxite is all connected, the coal is all connected, and this is all set up. So, hopefully, this will work. We also have... Oh, I wanted to get geothermal. Yeah, that's fine. So, we have our water pumps down here. These are overclocked, because it's going to take 600 water, I think. For those 3. Each one of those takes 200. So, what we're doing now is I have to make more Mark II pumps to get the water to get up there. So you can see this glowing ring right there. You see it? Right up there? That is where the previous pump stops pumping to. So then we can take this one, and that one will actually get it all the way. Oh, wow. Alright, so we only need 2. Awesome. So we got you there. Connect you to the power line. Pump away. Okay. So one of the things with aluminum production is, one of the byproducts, you need water to make aluminum solution. And then when you make aluminum scrap, one of the byproducts is water. So we're actually going to be feeding water back into the loop, which is going to be awkward. There's no 2 ways about it. It is always the most irritating part. Typically I get annoyed with it and I end up just throwing it I end up packaging it and sinking it. But what we can do, what I'm going to try to do, is control the flow rate with valves. Once we get stuff running, I should be able to use valves to minimize what's coming, because there's going to be 120 water coming down each one of these. So we'll have 600 initially into each of these. But then we'll have 120 coming here, 240, 360. So then, really what we need is a valve here we can knock down. And then we could put another valve here. That'll reduce it more. Another valve here, that'll reduce it more. Probably. It'll definitely work. If it comes down to it, I have space here. I might throw a fluid buffer down just to have it. But I think it'll work. I think. Anyway, so the other thing that we got to do, because this is going to be putting out aluminum scrap and water, so that means we need smelters, which at the end of the stream we made blueprints for, because this is putting out 360 aluminum scrap. So that is going to go into pure aluminum, which means each smelter is getting 60 and making 30. Kugnar, what's going on? So each one of these needs 6 smelters. So we made a blueprint that should work for this. But I will need to line it up. Which will be annoying because it's on foundations. I shouldn't have put it on foundations. That was kind of dumb. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll leave a gap. And we'll go over to there. I have enough room there. It's only 2, right? So then I can do 2 there and 2 there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Yes. All right. So then if I do that, and then we do that. Yeah. And then we do. It's putting out 360, so this. Into you. And then we go here, here, blueprints, boom, and boom. Then we go here. Okay. Pure aluminum. All of these are making pure aluminum. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I'm gonna need to power all of this. And then once the once the aluminum comes out, we have 90 per minute, for casings. What are casings used for? I don't really have anything to use them in right now, right? Other than filters. Okay. So it's 90 per minute to casings and 30 per minute for sheets. Sheets I will need a lot more of because those are used for Mark V belts. So these are all putting out 30. And that's, what, 18 of them? Right? Yeah. So that's 540 aluminum Iggy knots. The blender needs casings. Yes, yeah. But we're gonna have 540. So we're gonna have a lot, basically. I can get 2 constructors making casings. That'll be 120 casings per minute. That should be enough. That's 180. Which leaves, what, 360 left over? So that's 9 assemblers making sheets. And that's still only 90 copper per minute, so that should be doable. So 2 constructors, 9 assemblers. No. 12 assemblers? 12 assemblers. That's a lot of assemblers. I should blueprint that. Probably expand this more. Yeah. I do wonder if I make a very gentle slope, like a 2-meter slope, if I can get the train, it would probably be way on the other side, right? Like 2-meter slope, I'd probably come on the back side of the turbo fuel, getting down to the other level of the trains. The other option is have a train station that connects via belts down to another train station that then takes the stuff over. So I could tap up copper down below and ship it up, but I think what I want to do is make... Yeah, I'll make a train platform over there for the copper and then bring it over here. The question becomes, where do I put the trains? And I want to leave room for expansion. And I'm gonna need... Boy. That's 90, 90, 90, 90. This is the part where I keep getting stuck because I don't want to redo stuff, but I'm gonna end up redoing stuff. So then it just gets awkward. Speaking of awkward, oh no, that does work. It's way offline. I do like, there was one of the things that Bopper posted. Was somebody using these frames to create... Come on. It creates like a frame around the belt. Which ends up looking rather nice. Ninja Man, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, I might go back and adjust it, but I just want to see how it looks and if I actually want to commit to doing it. Instead of actually turning the machines on, I'm going to worry about the aesthetics. Because that is what we do here. Can I half nudge? Yeah, that looks better. The half nudge looks better. Tom, what's going on? So much time decorating a balcony. Game is so dumb like that. It's so hilariously dumb like that. Yeah, so anyway, that ends up looking rather nice by having it boxed in like that. Boom. See that? It looks intentional. Anyway. Yeah. That's real nice. That's real nice. Okay, now that that pointless endeavor is over. Okay. I'm probably going to drop this frame and this frame. Praise the nudge. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that, because then we're going to put a wall up here, so that'll create the support for that. All right. Gonna need some walls to get our power lines on. Oh, I don't have any silica on me. There's silica right there. I could go get some, but all right. We'll just leave it at regular walls for now. Let's throw some power poles in. There and there. We have power structures for those. So we need to connect all those. That needs to be connected better. Okay, that's turned on. So then we want you. Come here. Yeah. Put you there. Upgrade you. Plug you in. Hang on. Flip through the floor again. There. Where is... There. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So then you come on up to here. And you... down to there. Okay. So those are powered by going directly through the floor. So it basically just goes straight up through the concrete into these. So then we can power all of those. All of those. All of those. Okay. So that's going to start, and then we're going to get some problems with water, but we'll start managing that. Okay. So water's starting to come in. Getting enough water there. We're not getting any water there? I hate pipes so much, dude. Like, why are you not connecting? Because you're flowing that way. That's why. I need to have valves on all of these so that it doesn't backflow. That's why. Holy. All the water was going that way. So now there's nothing in the pipe. There's nothing in that pipe. Bro, what? Vandy, how's it going? Welcome in. Explain! Let's try this again. Now it's filling, because everything is dumb. And then I need a valve. On there. Now that's filling. Now that's filling. Not getting anything back yet. Alright, so these valves are to prevent backflow. So that the pump is not sending stuff down that line. So that should all be coming this way. I hope. Yes. So then I need... So this needs 200, and it's going to be getting 120 from here. So then we need a valve here. And that's going to limit to 80. Wishing it wasn't Monday? That's a whole mood. So if we limit this to 80, then it gets the 120 from this line. That gives it 200, right? So then we also need a valve. Here. So 120 from there. We do 160 here. So then 80 and the 120 go in there, and then another 80 go through here. Hey, how's it going? So then 120. So then we want to limit this to 240. 240. Had to do the first thing you do in every Discord you join? Dog pics? Absolutely, yes. Immediately, yes. So if that's 240, 360, 480, 600. That should work. That should work. My lemons, how's it going? Welcome in. Using a different recipe. I don't like starting aluminum production until I have pure aluminum and sloppy alumina. Alright, water's draining out of that. Water's draining out of that. Water's draining out of that. Oh boy. I think we're working. I think it's working, people. Holy crap. I love it when a plan comes together. It's madness. Yeah. It gets overwhelming, Vandy. 100%. It's kind of crazy sometimes. Oh, I don't have these feeding into anything. Whoops. Probably should have done that first. Okay. The water is recycled into sulfuric acid 1-to-1. Oh, yeah. Going with instant scrap? I don't think I have... I don't know that I know that one, actually. Okay. We're cranking. So what we're going to have to do now is get a whole bunch of assemblers and a couple constructors going. I guess we'll probably keep going this way, unless I want to go back this way a bit. Because then that would enable me to drop stuff off the cliff. That's probably the best bet. Maybe. Definitely going to slap down a blueprint maker. And make some assembler blueprints. After trying it, we'll never use another way if you can avoid it. Yeah. I started setting up my aluminum factory down over here initially, and then like sending the bauxite down over there. Oh, I still gotta finish this up. This is all just hanging in the air. But I didn't have sloppy alumina yet, and I was starting to set it up and I was just getting annoyed. So then I moved it all up here and went hard drive hunting. Okay, so what was the math that I figured out for that? So sheets are 30 for 30, casings are 90 for 60. I should probably have 2 constructors. Yeah, 2 constructors making casings. Right? And that'll come from one of these. I can just feed straight into 2 constructors making casings. Streaming talk is typically good for the game that we're talking about currently, Ninja, or general gaming is also good. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so then that's 180. So then we have 360 for sheets. So that's 12 assemblers. It's a lot of assemblers. That's a couple assemblers. So let's make a blueprint with 6, probably 3 over 3 again. Boom. Do I want them to be that close? Yeah, probably, right? What's the blueprint designer for? It's for this. So I'll show, like, this right here, the smelters that we have here, are from a blueprint. So anything you build inside this square, you can then save. So then once you have it saved, you can just go into the blueprint tab and be like, oh, I need 6 smelters. Here you go. And then, boom. Builds it all at once as long as you have the materials. So when you're doing production stuff, it's real good. They also added a disassemble filter for blueprints, which is so much better because you used to have to then, if you put it in slightly the wrong spot, you would then have to disassemble every individual piece, which was horrendous. Once you get the base rebuilt, yeah, it's good to have. I keep a couple, like, I do these cylinders so that I can make big vertical supports so that stuff doesn't look like it's floating. And then this is like the top of it. So I put that underneath and then the pillar going down to the bottom. Nudge is the best update ever, yeah. That's just facts. Alright, so what we're gonna do is put some walls there. Yeah. Then we do that. Let's make this so that it doesn't give me nonsense about being an uneven surface. Oh, I'm almost out of rotors. I have just enough rotors to do this. That's horrendously irritating. Oh no, I don't have enough rotors to do this. This is only one. I need to do twice. I need to do this twice. You know, I would like to, at some point in my Satisfactory career, not run out of materials that I need at that moment. Randomly. Because it's real annoying. At least I can get the blueprint made and then we'll be good. So we're also going to have to get copper brought over here. So we're going to have to get that tapped, that impure node tapped, and then shipped over here so that we can make the all clad. Yeah, so we'll have aluminum and copper coming in. I might have to space these a little bit. Maybe not. If I change up I don't know if I can. Yeah, that's not gonna. It's not gonna go. All right, I gotta space these out a little more. Yeah, I have concrete going into nodes as well. Or concrete going into dimensional depots. That's mandatory. You can't play the game without it. You just can't. If I do that, gonna have to be one more. Just upload everything. Yeah, I haven't had enough Mercer spheres for that yet. It is a plan. I just haven't had enough spheres. Okay. Nope. One too many. Shoot. There. Yeah, that'll be fun. I just got to remember. Tough to figure out the layout. Thought you had it, but you really don't need to use pen and paper to draw a layout. I've done that before too. At least trying to break down when I have to split a whole bunch of stuff up, and it's now I just kind of fumble through. Because when I plan it out on paper, I don't necessarily think about how it's going to look or how things will go together. It's pure just math. And sometimes when you slap stuff down, it doesn't necessarily go together the way that you think it would in the game. So now I do a lot more experimentation. So I just break stuff down and rebuild it over and over again, basically. Alright. So if this is going to be aluminum sheets, we need aluminum in one and copper in one. That makes that really awkward. Panda, good morning. Factory style can be described as fusion jazz. How was my weekend? My weekend was alright. It was alright, I can't complain. It was cold, but... outside of driving all over Hell's Half Acre for soccer stuff, it was fairly relaxing overall. Why are you yellow? Are we getting... water issues? No? Should be good. This should be running at 100%. Why are you saying you're at 74%? Oh, there it is. So we are getting some slight water issues. That's actually okay. So what I can do is actually... I'm going to bump this up to 90. Then hopefully that gives a little more excess so that this one doesn't fall so far behind. I'd rather them run a little under than get choked out by water. These are the ones where real issues might happen. As long as the water is emptying out of these, we're good. Yeah, see, this one's running under because this one's running under because the water is not... yeah. Jovial, how's it going? I hope you had a good birthday. Happy birthday. All right, we're still sitting at 75%, but let's go to 170 and just increase that flow ever so slightly. An inordinate amount of delicious fish. Well, that sounds lovely. Not a big fish person personally, but that sounds lovely. Why does this keep sitting idle? Weird. All right. This will be confusing if I do it like this. All right, hang on. The splitters aren't symmetrical, and for some reason it bothers you. Which ones? Suddenly, how's it go? Happy Monday.
Just floating around tugboating people.
Mort, thank you so much for gifting a tier 3 sub to Jovial. Thank you. The ones I thankfully deleted, yeah, I was kind of eyeballing them, Ashkar. I'm not gonna do it that way, so. Mort, thank you so much. Very kind of you. Bam, 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 bam. I've done this before on a previous, in a previous factory. I made really, really ridiculous assembler blueprints that were, it was for compacted coal, I think. That was completely nonsensical. Oh, I might be able to... Oh, hang on, I got it. Yeah. I might... Problem is, like, I can get it to split evenly and work fine with just the 3 of these. But I'm going to have 6 of them. I'm actually going to have 12 of them. So I want to do 3 over 3. But splitting stuff vertically, like we did here, gets a little awkward. So I got to figure out how to do that. Like, with a single input, it works out fine. Like, we can... That works out. But this is... two inputs of 2 different things, which makes it awkward. One belt from the left, hitting all left inputs. One belt from the right. Aren't there vertical splitters now? Wait. Is that something I have to unlock? That does ring a bell. No, that does ring a bell. Can I just put a splitter on? Oh. You could just put it on the vertical. Okay, so it only splits 2 ways. Oh, that changes every piece of math in the entire game. Oh, okay. Oh, no, it's split, well, vertically and then 2 ways horizontally. Never mind. Ignore me. Most of you do. Okay. That changes... Okay. How many hours do I... That's new! Paint, it's new. It's new. That's why I started this factory. This is my 1.1 factory, because there's new stuff like that. Alright? Combat. Thank you so much for 39 months. It's a long time. Job here is done. Okay. Well, that is neat and maybe helpful. Maybe helpful. To be determined. If it's actually helpful. Neat and maybe helpful is the title of your autobiography. Nice. I don't know if I'll be able to put stuff on top of that antenna. Don't think I can. I don't think I can, but I should be able to do that. Very helpful on the merger side. Yeah. I'm thinking about how I can use it otherwise, but you know, it's a little weird that the glass frame foundation doesn't take silica. I'm not complaining because I don't have any silica, but it is slightly weird. Might just take the day off. That sounds like a great idea, Mort, to be honest. That sounds like something that you should do. Wait, can I? Added in 1.1, reached stable in 1.11 in June of last year. Yeah, that's like when I started this save file, I think. Need to rebuild your base now? Don't know where to start? Any tips? Rastish, that's basically the game. The main thing, once you get into phase 4... Rupture 74 months, bro. That's a long time. Thank you so much for 74 months. Thank you so much for the tier 3. That's crazy generous. Been several moons. I hope you and the fam are doing well. We're here, you know. Go to the other side of the map and start over. Genuinely. Like, once you get into phase 4, 2 things happen. Aluminum, which is what I'm working on now, and turbo fuel. if you have not unlocked via the MAM turbo fuel, you really should. It makes a big difference. So when you're looking at fuel gens usually take 20. I don't have enough rubber. Fuel gens take 20 fuel to run, right? But if you do turbo fuel, it takes 7.5. So you can take the same amount of fuel and turn it into significantly more gens, right? It's almost 3 to 1. So getting turbo fuel up and running so that you have enough power for everything is a big marker. Like, that's what this is. I've got 40 turbo fuel gens down there going. And then getting aluminum going is the big thing. Bauxite is spread around, but the biggest collection of it is over here in this part of the map. What I call Texas, which is where there's a ton of oil too. So typically once I get to phase 4, I move everything over here and then start connecting stuff with trains. That's kind of the way to do it. Almost everybody will end up abandoning their original factory, either tearing it all down or just leaving it running and going to work on other stuff. And then you kind of build a new factory elsewhere. So, any good spots to set up a starting factory? Where I set up over here, I did the grasslands start, which I had never done before. Is it grasslands? Whatever the recommended starter zone is, and then ran north and set up here, which is a fine spot. It's kind of centralized for coal and other stuff. Another good spot is way up north here in the spires. The northern forest start, which is like here-ish. Right? Yeah, like here-ish is a great starting zone. There's a lot of copper and iron in this spot, the northern desert. Yeah, trains are very, very, very helpful. They're kind of annoying, but once you get used to them, they're very, very helpful. It allows you to make sub-factories and then ship everything together, which can be super, super helpful. Grasslands is very flat and easy, but it has bad resource nodes for everything but the basics. Yes. Yeah, I don't like the grasslands. The desert start overall is probably the best. Because it's just, you could just go to the top of the highest dune and make a platform, and you've got essentially infinite space to just sprawl your factory. And there's reasonable amounts of resource nodes there. Once you get to aluminum, you're going to have to move off, but it gives you a ton of spots and a ton of area to expand and grow for early game. So, yeah. Everything else feels bad once you're used to it. Yeah, like having to build around terrain and stuff once you've used the desert. It's why I don't start in the desert anymore. I do like the northern forest start is probably my favorite. There are incredible resource nodes there. Oil is not that far away up in the spires. Bauxite is your one negative with that, but it takes a little while to get there. Coal is a little bit of a bear. There's like a couple coal nodes here, and then the rest of them you have to go up on the cliff. But I like the northern forest start. It also makes you have to get creative with your factory builds, just because there's so much terrain to deal with. Individual nodes aren't pure, but altogether there's a ton of nodes, and it teaches you to expand. Yes, the grasslands are the recommended start because it teaches you that you need to pick up and move. Like, as you need more stuff, you have to expand, right? Not to just keep building the same factory. It really all comes down to personal preference. Like, whatever you end up enjoying is what it comes down to. All right, so if I bring... No, that's going to have to be out here. So then there. And then we bring that in this way. All right, so if we have like either copper or aluminum come in here on this side. Why is that too high? Oh, why? Then we do that. And that from each of them. That's real ugly. Is there a better way to do that? Don't think there is. Otherwise, I'd have to go up to another set of splitters and then... Yeah, no. I think we're just going to end up doing it this way. Doop. 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 Gosh, that's ugly. I mean, I could do that inside that, no. promise I won't bite you. Hang on. I might be able to duplicate what I got on the bottom there too. Alright, so that's coming in that way, that's coming in that way. So then I should be able to... If you do the lifts first, you can snap them to the splitters, at least get them in line, yeah. Okay, so then... You used to have a blueprint of each of the splitters and mergers that was just one of them at the height of a standard lift. They snap to the lifts now, which is really nice, so... Okay. This will work. And this will end up looking quite a bit better, I think. Still really convoluted. But when you're stacking assemblers together, there's not really that at least looks a bit asymmetrical and not just stuff everywhere. So copper and aluminum, and that's putting out sheets. So then we put a merger here. Favorite production machine? Oh, I don't know. That's putting out 30 sheets, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. Can you clear the recipe? Yeah, well. Biomass burner. Okay. Probably the blender. Yes, you can. Good shout. Okay. Then we'll have the outbound there. All right. That should work. All right, let's get some architecture on it so that it looks supported. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, I got to do power lines too, but... No? Yeah, let's just do... Knew that was going to happen. Oops. It's fine. We'd be done with this already if I didn't have to make everything straight and compact. Listen, I'm a simple man with simple needs. And those needs are for stuff to look at least moderately okay. I'm a very, very simple man. Frighteningly simple. Okay. How did I just take damage from that? Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Why did I put ankle warmers on the supports? Yeah. Shh. It's the style at the time. Okay. Those are all plugged in. Finally balanced your turbo fuel factory. Hell, Frozen Nova, welcome in. Good to see you again. No more hiccups, no more yellow and red lights. Nice. All the gens are now connected to your grid. So instead of 144 gigawatts, you now have 155 gigawatts. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So that is that. All right, let me save this. I'm not going to be able to make another one because I'm out of rotors. 3/3 assemble. Icon. Assembler. Save. Clear designer. Okay. Take all. 3/3 assemble. All our storage is full. Okay. Well, that's fine. So now we can put that down. Well, I'll put down 2 of them, but eventually I'll put down 2 of them. Right now it's only going to be 1 of them. So I need reinforced iron plates and rotors. Okay. Six assemblers making the same thing? Yeah, it's going to be 12. I got to make another set. So those are all going to be making all clad sheets. So I got to go get the rest of the materials that I need for that. We'll plop down another one of those, and on the way back, I'm also going to need another Mark II miner. And maybe just belt the copper over here? Wish they'd add a configuration switch with these, like they have for lights. Would be great to set all the recipes in overclocking block for one place. Yeah, copy pasting makes it quicker, but I do agree it would be nice if you could, like, link, even if you just linked it all, if the power coming into, use it like a light switch, right? Power comes into the light switch, and then from that power, all the machines that are connected through that switch, you can just choose what recipe all of them do. Right. Would be cool. Yeah, pasting from outside the machine, super helpful. But when you're doing big blueprints like this, it gets a little annoying. Okay. I'm going to have to do a train station up here. I'm going to have to bring copper in. And then I'm going to have to ship aluminum stuff out. Take care, Ninja Man. Thank you for hanging out. Alright, so those are all powered. Right? Yeah. Can I even... Oh no, I don't need rotors for trains. Okay. I'm also going to need 2 constructors. How much space is that going to take? If I take those poles out, I can put the 2 constructors right. No, that'll get in the way. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put a train station here. Oh. Oops. Looked a little too far over the edge there. Maybe over here, actually. If I'm gonna do, I can do 1 line for the copper. Lets you glide down, yeah. If you were on power and you lose it, you can hold down spacebar to glide, which is lovely. All right, so what I'll do is a back and forth train. Just for the copper. So let's put you here. So without making a loop, you need 2 locomotives, and you need to bracket stations. And it gets a little annoying. I might not do that, actually. I might not do that there. I might do that over here. You're not smart enough for trains. Once you figure out how the signals work, they start to work a lot better. I'm gonna need the copper train to come through here. So we want that right about there. Need a mod that adds trebuchets. I mean, that's... If you extrapolate a little bit, that's basically what drones are, right? What are drones, if not funky little trebuchets? You do not, Vandy. You do not. I've moved mine 4 or 5 times. One more bump over. So, not there. Boom. There. Good luck, Mort. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that should line up nicely with that. Okay. Cool. Alright, so that'll be our copper. Then the question, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Saves progress if you change a milestone before the selected is completed. It just gives you the stuff back, doesn't it? I think. Okay. So now we're gonna run track that way, heading towards the copper node that's over there by that nitrogen. Yonder. It is right there. Skytrain. You know, I could just belt it. Do I want to belt it or train it? All trains. I might belt it. I mean, it's a little ways, but... I'm quite a ways up. Oh, Jesus. think... I'm going to need more concrete. I really got to increase upload speed. Upload speed is the biggest holdback, but it takes like, I think I need 14 or 15 Mercer spheres for that, and I just don't have it. Huh.
Just floating around tugboating people.
Okay. Good morning. Oh, I have to smelt that. Forgot about that. Kay, thank you so much for 44 months. Thank you so much for the tier 3. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Boy. Alright. That's all out of there. Certainly uneventful since you were snowed in. It's fair. I did see North Carolina got quite a lot of snow, which is pretty crazy. Huh. I wonder... I don't think this is going to drop low enough to get down to my base. But, like, level of the space elevator? I might be able to do something with this. Let's try. Let's have some fun. What could possibly go wrong? Now it's going to be past the space elevator. That's the problem with... If you do more than the 2-meter drop, the trains really struggle. Unless you do a really short one. A steeper incline does not go well. The trains become strains, yeah. Break soon? Maybe. Oh, it's been almost 2 hours. Love tractor. Too bad the inventory is kind of small. You do get trucks later, which have a bigger inventory. I should take a break soon. This is outlandish. That was a suggestion. Next time it'll be in order. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I don't want to have massive sky trains. Is there a way to remove the time part of trains waiting at stations? You want the train to wait until an unload is completed, no matter how long it takes? Yeah, there is a setting on the station, Gamer Programmer, to have it wait for unload. That is absolutely a setting on each station. When you go in and you program, sorry, on the train, when you add a stop to the train, you can have it wait until it is completely unloaded. What the hell? Boy. You should be able to take away the time setting on that. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure? So if you do freight wagon is fully loaded or unloaded, and then just make the wait for like 60 seconds, and it should like that should do, there's no way it should take more than a minute, basically. Are we redone? Shut up, Bob. Shut up. A sound decision, sir. Oh, I could go that way. Wait, hold up. If the destination is backed up, why would it be backed up, though? I'm mad because I'm not good at this game or something. It's accurate, actually. I am nothing if not a poster child for skill issues. Why do I have to take it out on you? Thought that was pretty clear. That's my copper right there, right? No. What is that? Because I'm the physical manifestation of greatness? I mean, obviously. As long as you're using the and clause and not the or clause, both things have to be true. Yeah. So it would wait at least 60 seconds and as long as it takes to fully unload the train. Yeah. Yeah, that's a new change, Vandy. It's a lovely change. Over here? That's annoying. What's that node then? What are you, iron? I don't have any other hang on. Aren't there like funky copper alternatives? Tempered yeah, don't want to do that. That's dumb. I don't need that much. Copper alloy. No, that's even dumber. Alright, never mind. Steamed copper sheets. That's like having an aurora borealis localized in your kitchen. Well, that was a waste of a rescan. Can I see it? No. Pure copper and steamed copper sheets. Yeah, I'm running pure iron, making heavy modular frames, which is nice. I hate having floating platforms everywhere, but there's no other way to do this without it. So, boo. You're done with today? It just started. What do you mean you're done with today? All right. Leftover barbecue chicken pizza for dinner. Yo. Wait, is that an iron node? No.